Hey everybody, welcome to AniBreak, the show where we break down the week's hottest topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason, and you may have noticed I'm in a different location, and the reason being for that, if you guys have been following me on Facebook and Twitter, is that I'm actually not at my usual spot. I'm not even at home. I'm actually up in the San Francisco Bay Area, helping out the rest of the crew to get started for Japan Expo USA First Impact. This is their first foray into the U.S. anime circuit, and it's going to be an absolute blast. We've all been working really hard around the clock, honestly, around the clock, to make sure everything is ready for this event. And for a first year event, they are pulling out all the stops. They have a number of fantastic guests that we've already mentioned several times throughout past episodes, not only on here but also on From My Mother's Basement. And we have a few more we're just going to talk about real quick before we get into some of the anime news. Right off the bat, let's talk about Ace Attorney. You guys have been clamoring for guests of this franchise to come stateside. Kind of surprised it's taken a while for any con, for that matter, to try to bring people over. And you know what? Japan Expo is going to be bringing them in en masse. So let's start off with the art director of the franchise, Tatsuro Iwamoto. Now, you might not recognize the name, but you definitely will recognize his voice, because aside from being the art director, he actually also voices the prosecuting attorney, Miles Edgeworth. So if you guys have been really enjoying the games, if you guys recognize that voice and you want to meet the guy, you're in for a treat. You definitely have to go to Japan Expo this year to check this out. Now, we also have a few other people from Ace Attorney that will be showing up for the event. You guys definitely want to come to this thing. Let's talk about someone who's just announced, 2 hours ago, I think. And what we're going to talk about is, right here, we have Masahiko Minami. He is the president and one of the co-founders of Studio Bones. So if you guys remember, one of the other co-founders, Toshihiro Kawamoto, has been at a few anime cons in the United States over the past few years. But now you can meet the other part of the of the trio of co-founders for Bones. He's actually worked on Mobile Fighter, G Gundam, Escaflowne, Cowboy Bebop, just to name a few. Because remember, Bones actually did the Cowboy Bebop movie. He was definitely a big part of that. So Minami-san will be at the festival. He's going to be hosting some panels. He'll be hosting some signings, so you have a chance to meet him, shake his hand, maybe even get his autograph. Now, those in Paris, France, they were lucky enough to actually meet him back at Japan Expo in 2009. But you know what? We're not in Paris, France. We're here in the in California, I should say. Can't say I'm in Southern California anymore. But you guys will have the chance to meet him and many of the other guests. Now, some people have complained, which is kind of odd. We have some great guests of honor coming. But what about U.S. side? We want to have some, voice actors as well. Well, we definitely have not forgotten about that, and we have already announced voice actor Michael Sinter-Nicholas. He has been in a ton of things, everything from Slayer's Evolution, Eden the East, Basara, Tiger and Bunny, Naruto. He's even been tapped to actually direct the upcoming English language dub of Time of Eden. Of course, if you guys know, outside of anime, he's still a very busy guy. Let's just go with the top one right off the bat. He is the voice of Dean Venture in Venture Brothers on Cartoon Network. So you're going to have a number of fans of his anime and his non-anime works coming to Japan Expo. It's going to be an absolute blast. Now, there's already been a number of announcements. We still have more guest announcements coming very, very soon. More event announcements. And overall, for the next 3 weeks, you're going to hear a lot of news online about Japan Expo USA. They're going to come in a big way, and you guys better show up. It's taking place August 23rd to the 25th at the Santa Clara Convention Center. It's a really nice location. I've gone through a few of the reasons why you guys should pre-register. Things like you get into the exhibit hall an hour early. You you get some really cool stuff. I can't go through all of them right now. A nice little perk for everyone who's coming. Unlike going to other conventions where you might have to pay upwards of $20 a day to park, no, parking's free here. So you don't have to worry about that. You can use that money for food. You can use it to buy more anime or figures or who knows what else. And of course, you guys always stop by and say hi to me. I'll be walking around the entire convention center. And I cannot wait to see you guys again. But let's get into the anime news. Let's start off. Well, speaking of Time of Eve, the actual creator of the Time of Eve OVA series actually has a new film that's coming out finally. This is a film that was initially supposed to come out last fall in Japan, then make its way, worldwide later on. But due to a number of reasons, they had to delay it until this October. And it looks incredible, I gotta say. Now, the film is called Patama Inverted, and it's really cool. Let's go ahead and just watch the trailer itself. I gotta say, it definitely has a unique feel to it. I mean, the animation is spot on. It's what you expect from a guy of this caliber. The whole idea that you have Patama Inverted takes place in this underground world where tunnels extend everywhere, but there's this danger zone, and Patama, who's of course being an anime, is a princess. Um, Wants to venture out and goes into the danger zone. Meets a young boy who seems to be upside down, and they go on this uh, several turns of events. Let's call it that. The film itself will open in theaters in Japan November 9th. Now, those of you in Japan can actually order tickets starting the end of this month, August 30th. Now, what does that mean about us here in the States? Well, I'm hoping we're going to get it maybe in December, maybe in January. But a film that looks this good and has so much potential, I fail to see how this will not make its way stateside one way or another. Maybe Sentai or Viz or even Funimation might pick this one up and bring it over stateside. But I'll let you guys know the moment I find out more information about it. Let's move on actually to the 20th anniversary of a very, very classic series. Of course, I'm talking about Sailor Moon. Now, this is an interesting anime that, regardless of who you're talking to, they either have a really strong tie to this anime as it would really got them into anime in the first place, or it could be one that, oh yeah, I've heard about it, but I've never really watched it. It was just for girls. Honestly, if you're saying that, you never saw the unedited version, and oh my dear God, it is definitely something everybody should. If you haven't even read the manga, you should do that as well. But we announced earlier this year there is a 20th anniversary event going on this year to talk about the upcoming brand new anime. It was supposed to come out this summer. That's been delayed a bit. For a while, it was just delayed indefinitely, but we do have a final word that is going to be starting this winter, so you will get it this year, and it's going to be streamed worldwide. Now, the catch is it is on Nico Nico, so if you do not have an account on there, head over to, I think, niconico.com. I think it's still active. You guys want to go there, sign up. You can already watch a ton of stuff on there already for free, so go definitely check it out, get an account, and when this starts streaming worldwide this winter, you'll be one of the first people to check that out. I do like the fact that Momodoro Clover Z is actually going to sing both the opening and ending titles. I actually really enjoy that band, a little more than I probably should admit, but it's still a great little group, and I can't wait to see what they do to try to enhance the for lack of a better phrase, the Sailor Moon experience. The things I say on this show, but oh well. It seems like no matter who is out there, aside from, watching Sailor Moon or just at least even hearing about Sailor Moon, there is another pivotal anime movie that I'm sure everybody has seen in one form or another, and of course I'm talking about Akira. And Funimation, to help celebrate part of Geek Week on YouTube, they decided to release a trailer for Yes, Akira is coming out again. It's come out in how many different versions with how many different dubs now? I've lost count. Now, Funimation stated that because this is the film's 25th anniversary, it will be released not only on DVD but also on Blu-ray, and I think that will just look gorgeous. They've also mentioned that several of the anime dubs, the English dubs, the ones that were made, by manga, ones made by Pioneer back in the day. If you guys had a favorite, now you don't have to worry about having all the multiple individual DVDs. This Blu-ray will have them. So that's kind of nice. They're actually putting them all together. Of course, that also saves Funimation the cost of doing yet another dub of their own for this. But okay, I'll definitely take a look at this. Now, I'm still waiting to find out exactly how much this is going to be. I'm guessing somewhere between $60 to $80, but it should be well worth it. And if anything, for the sole fact you want this on Blu-ray, that's going to look amazing. But enough about it, Akira. Let's talk about Attack on Titan. This is a series that is just, for lack of a better phrase, gaining steam and shows no sign of slowing down. Not only we're already starting into the second season of the very, very popular anime, it's already been announced that there's going to be a spin-off series. It's going to call Attack on Titan Another Story, sorry. And that's going to be a spin-off manga that's going to start off in Japan August 26th, end of this month. Okay, the original manga for Attack on Titan is still going on. I think it's in like 50th chapter or something like that. I could be wrong. But I guess they're just trying to make as much money as they possible in one single go with this. I mean, you already have a second season of the anime. You now have a spin-off manga series. Is that enough? No, not by a long shot. They also recently announced an Attack on Titan game for the 3DS. Now, there's been a few titles already, a few Attack on Titan games out there, usually for the PC browser, that have been made by a bunch of fans. This is an official game that's coming out on the Nintendo 3DS, I believe later on this year. Now, here's the main question all you guys are probably wondering. Any word about this coming stateside? Well, as of right now, no. But given how insanely popular this series is stateside, I can only assume that it should not take that much time to bring this over. So I think it's just kind of cool that they're going to continue to expand the series. But my question is, for those of you who've been watching, I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but when you watch it, it is intense, it is enjoyable, but where is it going? I want to know. I mean, usually by now, you have an idea of where everything's going to go and a hint of how things are going to end. There's no hint of how this is going to end. I've heard people think this is it can go the path of Eva, or it can go down its own path. It could be like Inuyasha or Tenchi and never end. I don't foresee that, but maybe 30, 40 episodes would actually be really nice. But that's just me. But let's move on to a couple video game news, but especially about Hatsune Miku. Now, we all know that Project Eva F is making its way stateside to US PlayStation 3s. This will be, I believe, a download only. I could be mistaken. But it doesn't stop GameStop from offering pre-orders. So if you do pre-order, you will get a few bonuses in-game, like a custom PS3 theme. You'll actually get some of the Snow Miku costumes from earlier this year. I do like the fact that you'll include an additional 9 Miku-themed backgrounds. So you have a couple perks in there if you guys do pre-order Project Eva F at GameStop. So any money you put down anyways, is going toward the price of the game. So you might as well check this out. Might as well head to your local GameStop, throw down $5, and hey, look, you get all these in-game bonuses. I think that's a nice little deal right there. The other thing you can find out there right now, which is available right now, is actually a little ditty for your iOS games. or for your iOS devices, your iPad, iPhone, and whatnot. And I'll just let this little video showcase what exactly that is. So if you're thinking, oh, it's another Miku game for the iOS device, no, actually, this one is essentially a music player app. I mean, you already have iTunes, you have the music player built into it, so why would you want this one? Well, in this version, in this app, I should state, Miku actually will listen to the music with you together. You can also dress her up, and she'll even dance to the tunes that the app itself can actually recognize the BPM or beats per minute that the song has. So it's not really. I guess some people could consider it a Tamagotchi Miku, but no, it's not nearly as in depth as that. But it's a cool little app. You see Miku dancing on your phone. You can dress her up in different designs. And the best part about it, it's free. So you guys can definitely go in and download this. If you have an iOS device, go check it out. It's free. Take some pictures of it if you want, some screenshots, and send them to me, and I'll post them on Twitter and Facebook as well. Okay. Well, normally I would just end it right at that. I told you guys these late night episodes are going to be a little shorter than normal, but I definitely had to showcase these pictures. I've talked about before about the upcoming live action Patlabor movie that's coming out, I think, in 2014. And was really big news a little while ago when actually the director of the original anime, Mamoru Oshii, is actually part of this in some form or another. Well, they're starting production. They're starting to work on the filming. So you're thinking in this day and age, a lot of CG. Not the case. No, not by a long shot. They actually built a full 1/1 scale model of the mechs. Now, these are going to be used in the film itself. No word yet how much they're going to be used in the film, but the fact they went as far as not only create the mechs, but also the little tanks that you found in the classic series. They've built 1/1 scale versions. I doubt the mech's going to move by itself. They'll probably use for some close-up shots here and there, but it's definitely nice to see that they're going this far to try to create something like this. Now, does this whet my appetite even more for this movie? Hell yeah, it does. I definitely want to check this one out. Unfortunately, because it is a live-action movie, it may take a little longer to get stateside, so I may have to import the Blu-ray when it eventually comes out. But I still think it would be totally worth it. Anyways, that's going to be it for this episode of AniBreak. I told you guys it was going to be a little bit shorter because we are running later in the evening than we normally do. I will be still hosting these things every single Wednesday, probably around the 9 p.m. Time frame for the month of August. And then when I head back home in September, we will be back to our normal 7 p.m. showings. Now, just as a reminder, From My Mother's Basement, the show I do with Michael Underwood on Sundays, is still at the same regular time, Sundays at 5 p.m. Pacific. So you guys definitely want to stay tuned for that during that time as well. But that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you guys for staying up later, those of you on the East Coast. And stay tuned for post-show. So for AniBreak, I'm Jason. We'll see you guys next week.